Can I turn it off often? Can I turn it off often? Not every month. Not every month. Can you give an example of how to use this software? Can you give an example of how to use this software? Can I use my mobile payment application here? Can I use my mobile payment application here? I never go to bed without brushing my teeth. I never go to bed without brushing my teeth. May not have rested. May not have rested. They were illustrators at sunset. They were illustrators at sunset. He won't be inviting soon. He won't be inviting soon. We shouldn't shout after one night. We shouldn't shout after one night. Is my sister a filmmaker? Is my sister a filmmaker? Respect. Respect. I'm in the room on the right. I'm in the room on the right. He decided to run to clear his mind. He decided to run to clear his mind. He lost his phone. He lost his phone. Your contribution to the project is greatly appreciated. Your contribution to the project is greatly appreciated. What would you like? What would you like? This book is more interesting than that. This book is more interesting than that. Is her stepdad a gardener? Is her stepdad a gardener? I was thinking about your suggestion. I was thinking about your suggestion. Should you try? Should you try? Should he notice? Should he notice? Do you want to come with me? Do you want to come with me? He wishes he could find his soulmate. He wishes he could find his soulmate. If they invited me, I would join the party. If they invited me, I would join the party. Can I have a glass of water, please? Can I have a glass of water, please? You can't know. You can't know. I don't pay after 4 evenings. I don't pay after 4 evenings. If they work hard, they will win the competition. If they work hard, they will win the competition. Later I learned that the law was on my side. Later I learned that the law was on my side. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. The movie was watched by millions of people. The movie was watched by millions of people. Also take a look. Also take a look. We are listening carefully. We are listening carefully. They had their cats neutered at the veterinary clinic. They had their cats neutered at the veterinary clinic. He is teaching a class. He is teaching a class. I shouldn't be a neurologist in 5 hours. I shouldn't be a neurologist in 5 hours. We usually go swimming in the summer. We usually go swimming in the summer. Let me. Her husband is a mediator. Her husband is a mediator. They are studying for the chemistry exam. They are studying for the chemistry exam. I'm waiting for a raise in my salary. I'm waiting for a raise in my salary. We must support each other in difficult times. We must support each other in difficult times. What dress should I wear to the party? What dress should I wear to the party? What is unconscious bias? What is unconscious bias? I smell poop. I smell poop. I must have an assistant. I must have an assistant. I like the blue shirt more than the white. I like the blue shirt more than the white. Do you have any questions or concerns before you leave? Do you have any questions or concerns before you leave? I'm asking my girlfriend out. I'm asking my girlfriend out. They organized a charity event to raise money for a good cause. They organized a charity event to raise money for a good cause. We would direct. We would direct. Have you finished your work? Have you finished your work? Don't they get it after 4 years? Don't they get it after 4 years? You need a lot of money, save more. You need a lot of money, save more. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what kind of person you are. I don't know what kind of person you are. I was learning to play the guitar. I was learning to play the guitar. To be careful. To be careful. They want to buy a new house in the city. They want to buy a new house in the city. I went to the gym and worked out for an hour. I went to the gym and worked out for an hour. I was going to tell you. I was going to tell you. I told you everything about me. I told you everything about me. We must not hide. We must not hide. Orphan. Orphan. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm 8. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm 8. The Tommy family, one of Argentina's wealthiest families. The Tommy family, one of Argentina's wealthiest families. If we had the ingredients, we could have made a cake. If we had the ingredients, we could have made a cake. He would rest once a year. He would rest once a year. The children were exhausted by evening because they had been playing outside all day. The children were exhausted by evening because they had been playing outside all day. Will you go later? Will you go later? My father is a choreographer. My father is a choreographer. I guess he is 40 years old. I guess he is 40 years old. He likes to go fishing with his father. He likes to go fishing with his father. Is his stepson a naturalist? Is his stepson a naturalist? I think we should address this issue and have a meeting with the Ankara team for other tickets. I think we should address this issue and have a meeting with the Ankara team for other tickets. Couldn't you have been a carpenter 2 months ago? Couldn't you have been a carpenter 2 months ago? They are trying to solve the math problem together. They are trying to solve the math problem together. You should always deliver results. You should always deliver results. Can we set up a meeting to discuss this further? Can we set up a meeting to discuss this further? Blue sky is brighter than gray clouds. Blue sky is brighter than gray clouds. Let's take a taxi. Let's take a taxi. They decided to take a hike in the mountains. They decided to take a hike in the mountains. Do you know swimming? Do you know swimming? Can they reproduce? Can they reproduce? Next year we will build our new house. Next year we will build our new house. Do they usually not fit? Do they usually not fit? By the end of the program, they will have achieved their weight loss goals. By the end of the program, they will have achieved their weight loss goals. Can you show me? How did you do this? Can you show me? How did you do this? Consistency. Consistency. Do I never measure? Do I never measure? Those movies were some of the greatest of all time. Those movies were some of the greatest of all time. He lost his job and started looking for a new job. He lost his job and started looking for a new job. We adopted a dog to have a friend. We adopted a dog to have a friend. What do you want? What do you want? By the end of the quarter, they will have met their sales targets. By the end of the quarter, they will have met their sales targets. May not be a psychiatrist often. May not be a psychiatrist often. The store is open until 9 p.m. The store is open until 9 p.m. He plays the guitar very well. He plays the guitar very well. He's not the daily announcer. He's not the daily announcer. He has been learning to swim for a while. He has been learning to swim for a while. You can save soon. You can save soon. Our prices are reasonable and affordable. Our prices are reasonable and affordable. They can injure after a century. They can injure after a century. Will it be organized after 3 nights? Will it be organized after 3 nights? We were playing football in the park when it started to rain. We were playing football in the park when it started to rain. If I have time, I will help you with your project. If I have time, I will help you with your project. Didn't come out last year. Didn't come out last year. His cousins were lobbyists. His cousins were lobbyists. The chef is preparing a delicious meal. The chef is preparing a delicious meal. Consistency in exercise leads to better physical health. Consistency in exercise leads to better physical health. Unfriendly. Unfriendly. We were hiking in the mountains and enjoying the scenery. We were hiking in the mountains and enjoying the scenery. He drew a picture. He drew a picture. We couldn't hide. We couldn't hide. Can you tell me what time it is? Can you tell me what time it is? You will immediately become the second man. You will immediately become the second man. The water freezes in winter. The water freezes in winter. Is there an electronics section in this store? Is there an electronics section in this store? We may not include every week. We may not include every week. At the end of the semester, he will be taking this course for 4 months. At the end of the semester, he will be taking this course for 4 months. The city is busy. The city is busy. No afternoon esthetician. No afternoon esthetician. The restaurant was full of people. The restaurant was full of people. Where will I find it? Where will I find it? You couldn't be a taxi driver 2 weeks ago. You couldn't be a taxi driver 2 weeks ago. We are approaching our goal. We are approaching our goal. His brother is a sports reporter. His brother is a sports reporter. We have lived in this city for 5 years. We have lived in this city for 5 years. Should I block it after 5 days? Should I block it after 5 days? We were not sent. We were not sent. We would care. We would care. I am sure they will like the concert very much. I am sure they will like the concert very much. He has been running for the marathon for months. He has been running for the marathon for months. I'm going to build a gingerbread house with my kids. I'm going to build a gingerbread house with my kids. They went to the park to play frisbee. They went to the park to play frisbee. He takes a nap every afternoon. He takes a nap every afternoon. I saw a beautiful rainbow after the rain. I saw a beautiful rainbow after the rain. The noise made by the construction workers was unbearable. The noise made by the construction workers was unbearable. We're getting a new car next month. We're getting a new car next month. How many hours are there in a day? How many hours are there in a day? They will meet us at the restaurant. They will meet us at the restaurant. We will include earlier. We will include earlier. The answer is certain. The answer is certain. We were watching. We were watching. Rarely can we be congressmen? Rarely can we be congressmen? Can you drop me off at the airport? Can you drop me off at the airport? His cousins were notaries. His cousins were notaries. Looking for a bike. Looking for a bike. We will not recommend. We will not recommend. He watched that show many times. He watched that show many times. If I had a second chance, I would have made different choices. If I had a second chance, I would have made different choices. All items on the list have been purchased. All items on the list have been purchased. Until tomorrow. Until tomorrow. If you work late, you should take a break to rest. If you work late, you should take a break to rest. They are studying for the exam. They are studying for the exam. How much are concert tickets? How much are concert tickets? Was his grandson a jeweler? Was his grandson a jeweler? Contestant. Contestant. He lived in the city for years before moving to the countryside. He lived in the city for years before moving to the countryside. Let me know if you want me to order anything else. Let me know if you want me to order anything else. Isn't he afraid? Isn't he afraid? Was your half-brother a shop assistant? Was your half-brother a shop assistant? Didn't he specify then? Didn't he specify then? Never work? Never work? Was our grandfather a pianist? Was our grandfather a pianist? Will you not increase? Will you not increase? All banks should have roles and solutions to this problem. All banks should have roles and solutions to this problem. I already sent the email. I already sent the email. How much will it take? How much will it take? The recipe should have been applied more carefully. The recipe should have been applied more carefully. Have you ever tried skydiving? They asked. Have you ever tried skydiving? They asked. The error was corrected by the teacher. The error was corrected by the teacher. I'm going on a trip next month. I'm going on a trip next month. We don't comment every day. We don't comment every day. Anxious. Anxious. Can I get all the answers on the left-hand side? Can I get all the answers on the left-hand side? You are not developing normally. You are not developing normally. If he had a car, he would drive to work. If he had a car, he would drive to work. Walking around. Walking around. Can't we borrow from time to time? Can't we borrow from time to time? I should visit my grandparents more often. I should visit my grandparents more often. The concert lasted 2 hours. The concert lasted 2 hours. Let's go back. Please, John. Let's go back. Please, John. Despite the traffic, we arrived at the airport early. Despite the traffic, we arrived at the airport early. Got rich. Got rich. I will use technology to improve my English. I will use technology to improve my English. He was asleep when his phone started ringing. He was asleep when his phone started ringing. Was your grandfather a cook? Was your grandfather a cook? Can't they play games every month? Can't they play games every month? Shouldn't you drink sometimes? Shouldn't you drink sometimes? Won't it make monthly calls? Won't it make monthly calls? You shouldn't be blogging at sunrise. You shouldn't be blogging at sunrise. Soon. Soon. To understand. To understand. Can you give me a chance? Can you give me a chance? Can they leave now? Can they leave now? Despite being nervous, she gave a great presentation. Despite being nervous, she gave a great presentation. They said to us, we've been friends for years. They said to us, we've been friends for years. Car looks good. Car looks good. They do not speak German. They do not speak German. We can't usually be broken. We can't usually be broken. Can't be a farmer sometimes? Can't be a farmer sometimes? See 8 audio pictures. What are words and sounds? See 8 audio pictures. What are words and sounds? I can't believe. I can't believe. Was your son a journalist? Was your son a journalist? We're throwing a party next Saturday. We're throwing a party next Saturday. Should it always be removed? Should it always be removed? Is it all over? Is it all over? The children were playing in the park when their parents arrived. The children were playing in the park when their parents arrived. However you like. However you like. Was he running for the marathon before he hurt his ankle? Was he running for the marathon before he hurt his ankle? Our stepfather was a journalist. Our stepfather was a journalist. What's the problem? What's the problem? Rarely worried. Rarely worried. I don't want to lose my love for many things. I don't want to lose my love for many things. I'm going for a walk. I'm going for a walk. I have watered the plants regularly and they have grown beautifully as a result. I have watered the plants regularly and they have grown beautifully as a result. The train leaves at 7 o'clock. The train leaves at 7 o'clock. I did not repeat it at dawn. I did not repeat it at dawn. We don't all agree. We don't all agree. Hit. He studied for the exam all week. He studied for the exam all week. I don't know where you will be. I don't know where you will be. She had been taking care of him for months before her sick mother passed away. She had been taking care of him for months before her sick mother passed away. If I had $1 million, I would travel the world. If I had $1 million, I would travel the world. Well noted. Well noted. My father is a retired teacher. My father is a retired teacher. They wear matching clothes on special occasions. They wear matching clothes on special occasions. Will I impose? Will I impose? My bag is heavier than yours. My bag is heavier than yours. I need a vacation. I need a vacation. We bought a kilo of strawberries from the market. We bought a kilo of strawberries from the market. May develop each month. May develop each month. He listens to music in his spare time. He listens to music in his spare time. Want a question before we start? Want a question before we start? He proves it. He proves it. Why do you work? Why do you work? Go on, please. Go on, please. I'm practicing my guitar skills. I'm practicing my guitar skills. They can learn a new language together. They can learn a new language together. I don't mean a year later. I don't mean a year later. After 2 years she shouldn't be singing. After 2 years she shouldn't be singing. The administration is responsible for the management of the school. The administration is responsible for the management of the school. Were his children soldiers? Were his children soldiers? After 2 years I am a night watchman. After 2 years I am a night watchman. He was able to notice it in the previous 3 evenings. He was able to notice it in the previous 3 evenings. Have you had breakfast? Have you had breakfast? He will fix the car engine. He will fix the car engine. I have a big house. I have a big house. Can he answer at sunset? Can he answer at sunset? I would care. I would care. I'm going on a date tonight. I'm going on a date tonight. I'm going to college. I'm going to college. The stars are shining in the clear sky. The stars are shining in the clear sky. Obligation. Obligation. The dog brings a ball. The dog brings a ball. They come from different countries but have a common language. They come from different countries but have a common language. They may not have enough time to finish. They may not have enough time to finish. Can we organize? Can we organize? Indispensable. Indispensable. Can it rain? Can it rain? You should be mayor. You should be mayor. Will they invite us to their parties? Will they invite us to their parties? You can convince after 1 hour. You can convince after 1 hour. We went to the city by train to visit the museums. We went to the city by train to visit the museums. This way, the food tastes better. This way, the food tastes better. Is it acceptable to ask for money as a wedding gift? Is it acceptable to ask for money as a wedding gift? We went hiking in the mountains last weekend. We went hiking in the mountains last weekend. I'm in the closet room. I'm in the closet room. He needs to set the table for dinner. He needs to set the table for dinner. You're going to visit your grandparents next weekend. You're going to visit your grandparents next weekend. On Mark's team. On Mark's team. Can you cook? Can you cook? Is his grandson a stockbroker? Is his grandson a stockbroker? Can complain. Can complain. We are watching a movie. We are watching a movie. Cave. Cave. Should we not organize? Should we not organize? The picture was hung on the wall. The picture was hung on the wall. He will finish his painting and frame it after that. He will finish his painting and frame it after that. He sought compensation after the accident. He sought compensation after the accident. You should not share your passwords with anyone. You should not share your passwords with anyone. Let me know if you want to come to the party. Let me know if you want to come to the party. His uncle was a trainer. His uncle was a trainer. I shoot at sunrise. I shoot at sunrise. They have not been fed before at 2 a.m. They have not been fed before at 2 a.m. I don't want to lose much for the machine. I don't want to lose much for the machine. Can we set up a meeting to discuss this further? Can we set up a meeting to discuss this further? Your sister is a craftsman. Your sister is a craftsman. We can't leave until we finish our job. We can't leave until we finish our job. Our toilets are always clean and full. Our toilets are always clean and full. We went shopping. We went shopping. The book is very difficult for me to understand. The book is very difficult for me to understand. Students practice speaking English. Students practice speaking English. Could not follow. Could not follow. He does not need to bring his own laptop. The company provides one. He does not need to bring his own laptop. The company provides one. I do my homework every evening. I do my homework every evening. They don't like horror movies, and neither do we. They don't like horror movies, and neither do we. Shouldn't you extend it after 4 years? Shouldn't you extend it after 4 years? Didn't they fit in 5 hours ago? Didn't they fit in 5 hours ago? Can I get some help carrying these foods? Can I get some help carrying these foods? Did you see what was done? Did you see what was done? Our teacher is very knowledgeable. Our teacher is very knowledgeable. There are 6 houses on the street. There are 6 houses on the street. Prepositional verb. Prepositional verb. Direct your anger towards the right person. Direct your anger towards the right person. What do you get? What do you get? I've never experienced such a situation before. I've never experienced such a situation before. Except for the vertical main banner, all other banner types are ready to use. Except for the vertical main banner, all other banner types are ready to use. I'm researching right now. I'm researching right now. He is my neighbor. He is my neighbor. He is my best friend. He is my best friend. Shouldn't I stay? Shouldn't I stay? Aforementioned. Aforementioned. Is that sign? Is that sign? Can I have some paper, please? Can I have some paper, please? English is spoken all over the world. English is spoken all over the world. I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go home. Are we going to launch the sun? Are we going to launch the sun? We need to find a solution to this problem as soon as possible. We need to find a solution to this problem as soon as possible. My neighbor was a real estate agent. My neighbor was a real estate agent. Will there ever be a curator? Will there ever be a curator? My cousins are managers. My cousins are managers. They are exploring a cave. They are exploring a cave. Obviously, there are still many issues that need to be addressed. Obviously, there are still many issues that need to be addressed. How often does it come to us? How often does it come to us? We are having lunch at noon. We are having lunch at noon. I can start earlier. I can start earlier. Attractive. Attractive. The movie will start at 2000. The movie will start at 2000. Can you turn on the TV? Can you turn on the TV? The glass is on the table. The glass is on the table. Can you make it to the game tonight? Can you make it to the game tonight? I can always explore. I can always explore. Don't they often play lead roles? Don't they often play lead roles? Complaint. Complaint. If we work together, we can finish this task in no time. If we work together, we can finish this task in no time. Our stepfather was a shop assistant. Our stepfather was a shop assistant. They can go on a world tour. They can go on a world tour. He used to live in a different country. He used to live in a different country. He has been learning to swim for a while. He has been learning to swim for a while. If it doesn't snow, I'll go out. If it doesn't snow, I'll go out. Were my relatives waitresses? Were my relatives waitresses? They visited the zoo last month. They visited the zoo last month. Hey Susanna, come talk to me. Hey Susanna, come talk to me. The cat was very fast. The cat was very fast. I walked to the store. I walked to the store. We have a few questions for the server. We have a few questions for the server. The Eiffel Tower is the most famous landmark of Paris. The Eiffel Tower is the most famous landmark of Paris. He was watching a movie when he fell asleep. He was watching a movie when he fell asleep. May not be available every week. May not be available every week. Why do you think? Why do you think? Can't affect. Can't affect. He plays football every Saturday. He plays football every Saturday. I can't see any lessons in today's English. I can't see any lessons in today's English. Did not stay often. Did not stay often. In 10 years I will be going back to school to do my PhD. In 10 years I will be going back to school to do my PhD. What is he doing? What is he doing? Do they send? Do they send? Won't he speak at dawn? Won't he speak at dawn? How do you make a living? How do you make a living? You have no idea. You have no idea. I can't believe how much time has passed since we last saw each other. I can't believe how much time has passed since we last saw each other. You shouldn't do pottery next year. You shouldn't do pottery next year. Can I push weekly? Can I push weekly? When I get home, my parents will be here. When I get home, my parents will be here. Our aunt is a fashion designer. Our aunt is a fashion designer. I'm going to a concert next month. I'm going to a concert next month. To separate. To separate. We're throwing a party next Saturday. We're throwing a party next Saturday. Can't I call? Can't I call? Was their grandmother a beautician? Was their grandmother a beautician? Do you have gluten-free options for granola bars? Do you have gluten-free options for granola bars? You cannot mark at sunset. You cannot mark at sunset. Servant. Servant. Pair. Pair. Do you like to cook? Do you like to cook? It's getting dark outside. It's getting dark outside. Actually, John is a full-stack developer. Actually, John is a full-stack developer. Could you feed? Could you feed? Bought a t-shirt and some shoes. Bought a t-shirt and some shoes. Can I have a visitor? Can I have a visitor? Can you analyze a century ago? Can you analyze a century ago? Have you ever been to France? Have you ever been to France? They survive on a weekly basis. They survive on a weekly basis. I had visited that museum many times before. I had visited that museum many times before. I'll be working on my project all day tomorrow. I'll be working on my project all day tomorrow. Read the article once. Do you or your partner do any of the things in this article when the article suggests? Read the article once. Do you or your partner do any of the things in this article when the article suggests? We were having a barbecue in the backyard. We were having a barbecue in the backyard. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. They can run a marathon in under 3 hours. They can run a marathon in under 3 hours. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. I had finished my homework before dinner. I had finished my homework before dinner. Let me see. Let me see. Despite being young, he has accomplished a lot in his career. Despite being young, he has accomplished a lot in his career. By next year, he will have saved enough to buy a car. By next year, he will have saved enough to buy a car. This computer is faster than my old computer. This computer is faster than my old computer. If I won the lottery, I would buy a big house. If I won the lottery, I would buy a big house. You didn't know. You didn't know. If it is possible. If it is possible. I have a pain in my head. I have a pain in my head. We must not forget to bring our passports to the airport. We must not forget to bring our passports to the airport. I'm here to check. I'm here to check. Were my grandchildren riders? Were my grandchildren riders? Do I need to do anything? Do I need to do anything? What is your plan? What is your plan? Couldn't you have shouted 5 days ago? Couldn't you have shouted 5 days ago? He'll be away all week. He'll be away all week. The anesthesiologist will be with you to explain the anesthesia options. The anesthesiologist will be with you to explain the anesthesia options. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I will call you when I come. I will call you when I come. His grandfather is a senator. His grandfather is a senator. You were not the focus. You were not the focus. Birds are chirping outside. Birds are chirping outside. What would you like? What would you like? If he had called me, I would have gone to the party. If he had called me, I would have gone to the party. Nowadays. Nowadays. Sometimes we don't care. Sometimes we don't care. You may not be an interviewer at sunset. You may not be an interviewer at sunset. Good to go. Good to go. Should I hide? Should I hide? Can't it tempt at dawn? Can't it tempt at dawn? You should be a waitress now. You should be a waitress now. They will be late to the meeting. They will be late to the meeting. It should have been after 5 nights. It should have been after 5 nights. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. I will be working. I will be working. Can we visit? Can we visit? My friend told me, I saw your favorite singer at the concert. My friend told me, I saw your favorite singer at the concert. She wants to try bungee jumping. She wants to try bungee jumping. Shouldn't we apply? Shouldn't we apply? Won't he be a doctor in a year? Won't he be a doctor in a year? We've been meeting here every Monday for the past year. We've been meeting here every Monday for the past year. I'm in the room with the candy. I'm in the room with the candy. How much does a dozen eggs cost? How much does a dozen eggs cost? Now we can dance. Now we can dance. She likes to dance at parties. She likes to dance at parties. I was learning to play the guitar. I was learning to play the guitar. His half-brother is a barber. His half-brother is a barber. I have a food allergy. I have a food allergy. Do you have checked baggage? Do you have checked baggage? The army is on the move. The army is on the move. You didn't litter for 2 weeks. You didn't litter for 2 weeks. The train leaves at 11 a.m. The train leaves at 11 a.m. I sleep 8 hours a night. I sleep 8 hours a night. We had the plumber fix the leaky faucet. We had the plumber fix the leaky faucet. All my secrets. All my secrets. He is often a decorator. He is often a decorator. I do not have time. I do not have time. I think my salary is about $1,000. I think my salary is about $1,000. He swam in the pool. He swam in the pool. Was her stepdaughter a cook? Was her stepdaughter a cook? Below the surface, the water was much colder than we expected. Below the surface, the water was much colder than we expected. 2 weeks you will be important. 2 weeks you will be important. We have already booked our flights for the holiday. We have already booked our flights for the holiday. How was your exam? How was your exam? He already fixed the broken chair. He already fixed the broken chair. It's a good idea to review your vocabulary regularly. It's a good idea to review your vocabulary regularly. Inconsistency. Inconsistency. They wouldn't build walls on a weekly basis. They wouldn't build walls on a weekly basis. I want to sleep. I want to sleep. Are the summers hot where you live? Are the summers hot where you live? They can break at night. They can break at night. We provided them with food. We provided them with food. His wife is an analyst. His wife is an analyst. The data show a clear trend. The data show a clear trend. I can overcome. I can overcome. Was my grandson a spy? Was my grandson a spy? Get bored. Get bored. The view of the hotel we stayed in was very beautiful. The view of the hotel we stayed in was very beautiful. He reminded himself to go grocery shopping. He reminded himself to go grocery shopping. He was writing a letter when the pen ran out of ink. He was writing a letter when the pen ran out of ink. We played tennis. We played tennis. I will help my friend move into a new flat. I will help my friend move into a new flat. They want to learn to play the guitar. They want to learn to play the guitar. Have you ever had coffee in Turkey? Have you ever had coffee in Turkey? We offer a variety of snacks and light snacks. We offer a variety of snacks and light snacks. I want to try new recipes. I want to try new recipes. Beyond the horizon, there is a new adventure waiting for you. Beyond the horizon, there is a new adventure waiting for you. To get down. To get down. Traceability. Traceability. He was able to fix the broken computer. He was able to fix the broken computer. Sort. Sort. My grandchildren are naturalists. My grandchildren are naturalists. You'll be a journeyman at 2 o'clock midnight. You'll be a journeyman at 2 o'clock midnight. He was enjoying his coffee on the balcony. He was enjoying his coffee on the balcony. I'm going on Sunday. I'm going on Sunday. We will take a walk in the park. We will take a walk in the park. Rarely miss? Rarely miss? John, what's your vendor ID you're talking about? John, what's your vendor ID you're talking about? I didn't have breakfast this morning, she said. I didn't have breakfast this morning, she said. I'm going to the library to get some books for my research. I'm going to the library to get some books for my research. I can't find anything in my closet. I can't find anything in my closet. It suddenly appeared. It suddenly appeared. I could feel the warmth of the sun on my skin. I could feel the warmth of the sun on my skin. Shouldn't it be stored every month? Shouldn't it be stored every month? Was her sister a supervisor? Was her sister a supervisor? You have to take care of yourself first. You have to take care of yourself first. We have everything. We have everything. Am I going to school? Am I going to school? Another possibility is to start a new project. Another possibility is to start a new project. How often does he go to the theater? How often does he go to the theater? We're doing karaoke at the party. We're doing karaoke at the party. I'll be doing my homework when he gets home. I'll be doing my homework when he gets home. We are going to the park. We are going to the park. If I had a magic potion, I would use it to bring world peace. If I had a magic potion, I would use it to bring world peace. Is our brother an inventor? Is our brother an inventor? I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. He said to his brother, I'm going to buy a new car next month. He said to his brother, I'm going to buy a new car next month. Our members are very active and we have a lot of fun. Our members are very active and we have a lot of fun. I can go home. I can go home. Is their spouse the second man? Is their spouse the second man? We don't all agree. We don't all agree. I'm meeting with John after work. I'm meeting with John after work. His wife is a fashion designer. His wife is a fashion designer. Could not communicate. Could not communicate. I need to work. I need to work. We often go swimming in the lake. We often go swimming in the lake. My boss gets angry if I'm late for work. My boss gets angry if I'm late for work. Can I borrow your pen? Can I borrow your pen? He didn't survive a week ago. He didn't survive a week ago. He could learn to play the guitar. He could learn to play the guitar. You wouldn't normally draw. You wouldn't normally draw. Last night's concert was better than I expected. Last night's concert was better than I expected. Let me see yours. Let me see yours. They must pay the parking fee before leaving the garage. They must pay the parking fee before leaving the garage. I will be working as an English teacher next summer. I will be working as an English teacher next summer. We watched a football match on TV. We watched a football match on TV. Your brothers were cameramen. Your brothers were cameramen. I will stay home this weekend. I will stay home this weekend. My car is yellow. My car is yellow. Working on construction project. Working on construction project. See you later. See you later. Did they follow up every week? Did they follow up every week? I don't want to lose my machine because I look good. I don't want to lose my machine because I look good. I can't believe. I can't believe. The sun shines brightly in the morning. The sun shines brightly in the morning. We'll let you leave early. We'll let you leave early. We play next year. We play next year. This is the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. This is the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. I have to connect at noon. I have to connect at noon. I think I'll be at your house in about 20 minutes. I think I'll be at your house in about 20 minutes. I studied English for 2 hours. I studied English for 2 hours. He had worked for that company for 5 years before he left. He had worked for that company for 5 years before he left. Traffic gets more intense during rush hour. Traffic gets more intense during rush hour. He doesn't like swimming. He doesn't like swimming. They have been studying abroad for a semester. They have been studying abroad for a semester. Can I compare after 2 months? Can I compare after 2 months? Sustainable. Sustainable. This dress is affordable. This dress is affordable. The dog barked all night. The dog barked all night. She danced at the party. She danced at the party. Recommend. Recommend. I have to clean it after 5 months. I have to clean it after 5 months. He told me I can swim. He told me I can swim. I have enough experience to apply for the job. I have enough experience to apply for the job. Did you see the last episode? Did you see the last episode? Is my husband a cook? Is my husband a cook? If they came early, they would get good seats. If they came early, they would get good seats. How many brands were affected? How many brands were affected? I'm in the hospital. I'm in the hospital. When I have enough money, I will buy a new phone. When I have enough money, I will buy a new phone. We may not leave 10 years. We may not leave 10 years. I wish we had spent more time exploring the city. I wish we had spent more time exploring the city. We could compare. We could compare. Tries to save money. Tries to save money. They often go on vacation together. They often go on vacation together. I've never had a job interview at Company X before. I've never had a job interview at Company X before. He has some time to finish his homework. He has some time to finish his homework. Is our sister a sheriff? Is our sister a sheriff? We stood in the rain and waited for the bus. We stood in the rain and waited for the bus. It doesn't feel every day. It doesn't feel every day. We would continue with other platforms. We would continue with other platforms. Crush. Crush. The baby sleeps in the crib. The baby sleeps in the crib. He flew to London for vacation. He flew to London for vacation. He couldn't let it. He couldn't let it. Those who are sick. Those who are sick. Was his wife president? Was his wife president? Are you working on Sunday? Are you working on Sunday? Should not object. Should not object. I was having a cup of coffee in the cafe. I was having a cup of coffee in the cafe. They are afraid of the dark. They are afraid of the dark. Couldn't find parking near the restaurant. Couldn't find parking near the restaurant. The government had the building inspected for safety. The government had the building inspected for safety. Firstly, the computer is an indispensable tool for modern communication. The computer is an indispensable tool for modern communication. Is successful on a weekly basis. Is successful on a weekly basis. We do not reflect. We do not reflect. I need to check bus times. I need to check bus times. We don't have enough milk for the recipe. We don't have enough milk for the recipe. Is my niece a babysitter? Is my niece a babysitter? The baby is crawling on the floor. The baby is crawling on the floor. I'm going to kindergarten. I'm going to kindergarten. It could be. It could be. We saw them at the restaurant. We saw them at the restaurant. Weren't you kidding then? Weren't you kidding then? I get up early in the morning and have my breakfast too. I get up early in the morning and have my breakfast too. Firstly, no, never give up, Neil. No, never give up, Neil. It's a bit like your Spanish paella. It's a bit like your Spanish paella. The East Coast was hit by a severe storm. The East Coast was hit by a severe storm. I need to return some books. I need to return some books. Can he become a player after 5 days? Can he become a player after 5 days? Force after 3 centuries? Force after 3 centuries? Not a combine harvester at sunset. Not a combine harvester at sunset. He managed to catch the early train. He managed to catch the early train. They had their roof repaired after the storm. They had their roof repaired after the storm. In the future, we will continue to strive for success. In the future, we will continue to strive for success. They don't know. They don't know. Get some rest. Get some rest. You will receive your promotion next month. You will receive your promotion next month. Birds sang in the trees. Birds sang in the trees. The baby cried all night. The baby cried all night. How often do you study English? How often do you study English? Can't be an entrepreneur next year? Can't be an entrepreneur next year? I almost missed the bus this morning. I almost missed the bus this morning. The news affected the stock market. The news affected the stock market. The differing opinions of the group members caused tension. The differing opinions of the group members caused tension. Your children are models. Your children are models. You are responsible. You are responsible. I also think we should consider this alternative. I also think we should consider this alternative. There are many different dialects of English. There are many different dialects of English. You must be kind to others and treat them with respect. You must be kind to others and treat them with respect. He was occasionally arrested. He was occasionally arrested. Will it not produce? Will it not produce? Are his stepsisters chiefs? Are his stepsisters chiefs? Is Vlad aware? Is Vlad aware? That name. That name. Can you speak English? Can you speak English? I rarely cover. I rarely cover. I prefer tea to coffee. I prefer tea to coffee. I received it from the team. I received it from the team. I have 2 sons and my eldest son's name is Tommy. This car is his. I have 2 sons and my eldest son's name is Tommy. This car is his. It was the promise. It was the promise. Avoid making assumptions and seek clarification. Avoid making assumptions and seek clarification. Are you a night supervisor? Are you a night supervisor? They had been dating for 3 years before getting engaged. They had been dating for 3 years before getting engaged. I had a healthy breakfast and as a result I had energy throughout the day. I had a healthy breakfast and as a result I had energy throughout the day. He never eats spicy food. He never eats spicy food. Can you give me a sponge bath? Can you give me a sponge bath? Won't you be late for work? Won't you be late for work? They are planning a trip to Europe next summer. They are planning a trip to Europe next summer. How is your day going so far? How is your day going so far? Confusion matrix. Confusion matrix. We will always be together. We will always be together. We can have pizza for dinner. We can have pizza for dinner. It was the funniest movie I've ever seen. It was the funniest movie I've ever seen. Are they burned? Are they burned? Are his relatives butchers? Are his relatives butchers? Mostly. Mostly. We must respect our elders. We must respect our elders. Didn't he run often? Didn't he run often? Should not be discussed often. Should not be discussed often. There will be no hairdresser in 1 month. There will be no hairdresser in 1 month. Can I order products for home delivery? Can I order products for home delivery? Should not imply. Should not imply. He's cooking dinner. He's cooking dinner. Never an editor? Never an editor? I am not bothered. I am not bothered. Did it wait 10 years? Did it wait 10 years? I was working from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. I was working from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cable of a monitor. Cable of a monitor. I don't want to lose a lot of my stuff for magazines. I don't want to lose a lot of my stuff for magazines. She is a passionate activist and fights for social justice. She is a passionate activist and fights for social justice. Gaining weight. Gaining weight. I'll have to buy a new dress. I'll have to buy a new dress. Is our sister a messenger? Is our sister a messenger? The manager took the employees to a seminar. The manager took the employees to a seminar. He could not impose occasionally. He could not impose occasionally. Is my stepsister a bailiff? Is my stepsister a bailiff? He asked. He asked. Enveloping the property was very difficult and very even. Enveloping the property was very difficult and very even. In 5 years I will have a baby. In 5 years I will have a baby. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. When do you finish your work? When do you finish your work? Let's discuss the pros and cons of each option before making a decision. Let's discuss the pros and cons of each option before making a decision. Can it build? Can it build? They go to the theater on special occasions. They go to the theater on special occasions. This is the most delicious cake I've ever tasted. This is the most delicious cake I've ever tasted. This came for you and I did this to you. This came for you and I did this to you. Do you have lactose-free milk? Do you have lactose-free milk? We had been hiking in the mountains all day, so we were tired by evening. We had been hiking in the mountains all day, so we were tired by evening. Stabbed. Stabbed. I will be working as an intern at a law firm next summer. I will be working as an intern at a law firm next summer. How many chairs do you need? How many chairs do you need? Now you can become an inspector. Now you can become an inspector. Justice. Justice. He may go to Europe next month. He may go to Europe next month. The car is very fast and powerful. The car is very fast and powerful. They want to go skiing in winter. They want to go skiing in winter. It gets very hot here, especially in summer. It gets very hot here, especially in summer. His son is a marketer. His son is a marketer. He will come back to you. He will come back to you. I didn't see any problem. I didn't see any problem. Should not accept. Should not accept. At the end of the semester, he will be taking this course for 4 months. At the end of the semester, he will be taking this course for 4 months. He's already cooked dinner. He's already cooked dinner. I'll call you when I get to the station. I'll call you when I get to the station. We are aware of its importance. We are aware of its importance. His uncle is a urologist. His uncle is a urologist. I wish I had invested in Bitcoin earlier, I would be rich now. I wish I had invested in Bitcoin earlier, I would be rich now. It is very hot in here. Could you turn on the air conditioner, please? It is very hot in here. Could you turn on the air conditioner, please? They never eat fast food. They never eat fast food. I don't go out if it's risky. I don't go out if it's risky. Don't you see the "No pets allowed" sign? You cannot bring your dog inside. Don't you see the "No pets allowed" sign? You cannot bring your dog inside. They were throwing a surprise party for their friends. They were throwing a surprise party for their friends. His spirit is good. His spirit is good. We did the test on Android. We did the test on Android. The concert was watched by a large audience. The concert was watched by a large audience. I am going to the cinema. I am going to the cinema. I'm going to the amusement park. I'm going to the amusement park. He has dark hair and green eyes. He has dark hair and green eyes. Please give me time, let me check. Please give me time, let me check. As soon as I entered the room, I could sense something was wrong. As soon as I entered the room, I could sense something was wrong. Were they taking? Were they taking? I'll start by saying I'm not a fan of change. I'll start by saying I'm not a fan of change. I have too much tolerance. I have too much tolerance. Do you have a limit each week? Do you have a limit each week? Can't make a weekly cream? Can't make a weekly cream? I had been working on this project for 3 months before finally completing it. I had been working on this project for 3 months before finally completing it. We help them move. We help them move. Doesn't it sit after a night? Doesn't it sit after a night? I will go to bed at 10 p.m. I will go to bed at 10 p.m. I think Tommy already mentioned the problems. I think Tommy already mentioned the problems. His stepmother was a stockbroker. His stepmother was a stockbroker. He will fix the car engine. He will fix the car engine. Most of my day was spent in meetings. Most of my day was spent in meetings. It was drawn. It was drawn. A little. A little. He took action to improve his health. He took action to improve his health. Are there toilets in the store? Are there toilets in the store? Are there stepson firefighters? Are there stepson firefighters? Also, don't forget to bring your ID when you come to the concert. Also, don't forget to bring your ID when you come to the concert. They make a budget every month. They make a budget every month. Should we take text, text. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can trust you. What kind of change was this? What kind of change was this? Cotton is a soft, absorbent fabric. Cotton is a soft, absorbent fabric. Then they will play 4 in the morning. Then they will play 4 in the morning. We won't be able to see it in 5 hours. We won't be able to see it in 5 hours. I'm not a banker at sunrise. I'm not a banker at sunrise. Was not often an esthetician. Was not often an esthetician. A jar of raspberry jam. A jar of raspberry jam. All banks should have roles and solutions to this problem. All banks should have roles and solutions to this problem. Was to calculate. Was to calculate. I worked for a long time after school. I worked for a long time after school. I like cooking. I like cooking. He had his passport renewed at the embassy. He had his passport renewed at the embassy. The bus was so full that I had to stand. The bus was so full that I had to stand. I found an article explaining how to start your own business. I found an article explaining how to start your own business. I value myself a lot. I value myself a lot. Duty. Duty. Mostly. Mostly. We can watch a movie tonight. We can watch a movie tonight. We have to be receptionists often. We have to be receptionists often. Weren't we directors at Sunset? Weren't we directors at Sunset? We lived in that apartment for 2 years. We lived in that apartment for 2 years. We hope to see you again soon. We hope to see you again soon. Until the very end, we are dedicated to completing the project. Until the very end, we are dedicated to completing the project. Don't they assume 2 centuries later? Don't they assume 2 centuries later? By the time you get here, I will have finished my exam. By the time you get here, I will have finished my exam. They can injure after a century. They can injure after a century. I am creative. I am creative. You cannot drive until you have a license. You cannot drive until you have a license. He will start a new job in October. He will start a new job in October. I don't know your child. I don't know your child. We won't be able to swim until the pool is cleaned. We won't be able to swim until the pool is cleaned. He visited London last year. He visited London last year. We were saving money for our vacation. We were saving money for our vacation. What is your favorite type of food? What is your favorite type of food? Did not refuse the previous one evening. Did not refuse the previous one evening. The clouds were above the highest peaks. The clouds were above the highest peaks. Will this decision have any negative consequences? Will this decision have any negative consequences? It won't demolish the building after one weekend. It won't demolish the building after one weekend. Is he a missionary? Is he a missionary? You're gone next year. You're gone next year. Would you like to try our specialty coffee? Would you like to try our specialty coffee? I will always be there for you when you need me. I will always be there for you when you need me. The yellow umbrella is larger than the red one. The yellow umbrella is larger than the red one. There is a problem with what you are talking about. There is a problem with what you are talking about. She is wearing black shoes. She is wearing black shoes. He has already eaten his lunch. He has already eaten his lunch. The cat purrs when you stroke it. The cat purrs when you stroke it. Look at some common adjectives to describe foods. What kind of food do we use them often with? Look at some common adjectives to describe foods. What kind of food do we use them often with? I talk to my son every evening after school. I talk to my son every evening after school. He had his clothes ironed at the dry cleaners. He had his clothes ironed at the dry cleaners. For if there is no chance of a storm, I will go out. For if there is no chance of a storm, I will go out. Was he a nighttime inspector? Was he a nighttime inspector? I'm taking them all. I'm taking them all. Problem solved by my friend. Problem solved by my friend. It shouldn't matter after one night. It shouldn't matter after one night. Again. Again. He is an author and has published several books. He is an author and has published several books. The food is under criticism. The food is under criticism. How many apples are in the basket? How many apples are in the basket? Arrived in time for breakfast. Arrived in time for breakfast. I didn't get it 2 days ago. I didn't get it 2 days ago. I'm in the room with the sink. I'm in the room with the sink. A night to remember. A night to remember. The company will expand its product range. The company will expand its product range. When does the train arrive? When does the train arrive? Couldn't find parking near the restaurant. Couldn't find parking near the restaurant. The children were playing with their toys in the playroom. The children were playing with their toys in the playroom. Worked at the school for 3 years. Worked at the school for 3 years. I need to find a new job that pays better. I need to find a new job that pays better. Low-fat yogurt. Low-fat yogurt. Do we have a ticket? Do we have a ticket? Can't they teach now? Can't they teach now? Was his brother a landscape architect? Was his brother a landscape architect? If it's not dry, I'll go out. If it's not dry, I'll go out. It is good to drink water regularly. It is good to drink water regularly. As I understand it. As I understand it. The store opens at 10 o'clock on Sundays. The store opens at 10 o'clock on Sundays. I'm going to the gym tomorrow. I'm going to the gym tomorrow. He said to me, I need help. He said to me, I need help. I don't have butter. I don't have butter. Today I want to talk about obedience. Today I want to talk about obedience. How long will you stay? How long will you stay? Snore. Snore. I'm going to make a cake for my friend's birthday. I'm going to make a cake for my friend's birthday. Is our daughter free? Is our daughter free? Shouldn't they imply next year? Shouldn't they imply next year? Can we do it 4 days ago? Can we do it 4 days ago? I'm feeling a little lost. Can you point me in the right direction? I'm feeling a little lost. Can you point me in the right direction? Ma'am, you just turned 18. Ma'am, you just turned 18. Can you help me find the nearest post office? Can you help me find the nearest post office? Is aware of this. Is aware of this. Shouldn't you be hurt? Shouldn't you be hurt? I do not have much time. I do not have much time. Your stepmother is a lawyer. Your stepmother is a lawyer. I listen to all the topics because I want to understand them all. I listen to all the topics because I want to understand them all. It should last. It should last. The book is incorrectly placed on the shelf. The book is incorrectly placed on the shelf. He may not act as an announcer after 3 nights. He may not act as an announcer after 3 nights. They said we won the match yesterday. They said we won the match yesterday. They went to Japan last year. They went to Japan last year. You enjoy watching movies, don't you? You enjoy watching movies, don't you? I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you understand. Was it a midday dermatologist? Was it a midday dermatologist? We can be truck drivers at dusk. We can be truck drivers at dusk. My teacher was Iranian. My teacher was Iranian. Didn't I apply? Didn't I apply? I'll be studying in the library at 6 o'clock tonight. I'll be studying in the library at 6 o'clock tonight. I wanted to say, was his nephew the gardener? Was his nephew the gardener? Last winter we went to the mountains. Last winter we went to the mountains. Do you want to ask a question before we start? Do you want to ask a question before we start? The movie was great and I can't wait to watch it again. The movie was great and I can't wait to watch it again. My family goes shopping every Saturday. My family goes shopping every Saturday. How many languages did you speak last year? How many languages did you speak last year? Could you please help me with this math problem? Could you please help me with this math problem? John will check more this week. John will check more this week. Do you have to apply? Do you have to apply? Illustrator 5 not later in the morning. Illustrator 5 not later in the morning. I have to learn everything from scratch. I have to learn everything from scratch. Maybe you'll meet John. Maybe you'll meet John. I'm sorry you didn't win. I'm sorry you didn't win. When I spoke to their previous manager, they said the same thing. When I spoke to their previous manager, they said the same thing. You weren't a mechanic 3 minutes ago. You weren't a mechanic 3 minutes ago. Assumed 3 years ago? Assumed 3 years ago? They were going to destroy it last year. They were going to destroy it last year. It rarely snows in this region. It rarely snows in this region. Let me work on it. Let me work on it. I'm not sure I understand, but can you explain it to me? I'm not sure I understand, but can you explain it to me? They practiced yoga to relieve stress. They practiced yoga to relieve stress. Mary will be aware of this situation. Mary will be aware of this situation. He's not happy, and I'm not happy either. He's not happy, and I'm not happy either. Absorber. Absorber. The painting was made by Picasso. The painting was made by Picasso. I'm running late. Do you know the fastest way to the conference room? I'm running late. Do you know the fastest way to the conference room? He lost a lot of blood during the accident. He lost a lot of blood during the accident. I have a lot of confidence. I have a lot of confidence. Burst. Burst. Do you sell fresh juice? Do you sell fresh juice? I will come with you. I will come with you. What happened to you? What happened to you? Let us do it. Let us do it. We need to go somewhere. We need to go somewhere. Can he be happy? Can he be happy? Slow down. Slow down. Informative. Informative. They can kiss every year. They can kiss every year. They enjoy watching movies at home. They enjoy watching movies at home. I'm going to the party. I'm going to the party. Can't you be a physicist then? Can't you be a physicist then? They went camping in the forest and saw many animals. They went camping in the forest and saw many animals. Is your niece a decorator? Is your niece a decorator? The cat is black. The cat is black. Could you please explain the new process to me? Could you please explain the new process to me? If you save money, you can't buy a car. If you save money, you can't buy a car. We saw a beautiful bird in the garden. We saw a beautiful bird in the garden. We're both feeling a little under the weather today. We're both feeling a little under the weather today. Are there mother-in-law's fashion designers? Are there mother-in-law's fashion designers? We can't go to the concert due to traffic. We can't go to the concert due to traffic. I can feel that you are hiding something from me. I can feel that you are hiding something from me. You will be in control of your life. You will be in control of your life. Let's have some popcorn after the movie. Let's have some popcorn after the movie. Children should not play with matches. Children should not play with matches. The cat sleeps in the sun. The cat sleeps in the sun. It takes 10 years to eat. It takes 10 years to eat. Your uncle was a lifesaver. Your uncle was a lifesaver. Let me know if you need to talk. Let me know if you need to talk. His brother-in-law was the attorney. His brother-in-law was the attorney. Adoption. Adoption. I need to have my blood drawn. I need to have my blood drawn. You will miss me when you leave school. You will miss me when you leave school. Does it show up every year? Does it show up every year? Drink plenty of water if it's hot. Drink plenty of water if it's hot. Where do you work in the garden? Where do you work in the garden? Overlap. Overlap. I'll excuse you from class. I'll excuse you from class. What time do you leave school? What time do you leave school? Neighbor's waiter. Neighbor's waiter. What do you think of my company? What do you think of my company? Neighbor designer. Neighbor designer. You don't even have to talk. You don't even have to talk. He is playing the guitar. He is playing the guitar. I need to finish this project before the deadline. I need to finish this project before the deadline. Didn't he say? Didn't he say? Have you finished writing the report? Have you finished writing the report? In 5 years I will be a famous writer. In 5 years I will be a famous writer. We were playing board games with our friends. We were playing board games with our friends. Do I get engaged often? Do I get engaged often? I don't feel normal. I don't feel normal. Were we monthly tilers? Were we monthly tilers? They should soon become air traffic controllers. They should soon become air traffic controllers. We can occupy. We can occupy. He is a talented painter and has won many awards. He is a talented painter and has won many awards. She hopes to become a successful writer one day. She hopes to become a successful writer one day. On the beach, I could feel the sand between my toes. On the beach, I could feel the sand between my toes. The red dress is more beautiful than the pink one. The red dress is more beautiful than the pink one. I booked a hotel room. I booked a hotel room. Both teams played well, but one of them had to win. Both teams played well, but one of them had to win. The situation is very serious. The situation is very serious. They want to visit the beach. They want to visit the beach. Can you help me with this task? Can you help me with this task? It is important to be kind to others. It is important to be kind to others. I'm looking for a place to rent a bike. Do you know where I can do this on campus? I'm looking for a place to rent a bike. Do you know where I can do this on campus? Do we run? Do we run? Problems can arise when people do not communicate. Problems can arise when people do not communicate. You should have seen the movie, it was great. You should have seen the movie, it was great. It's a privilege to meet you. It's a privilege to meet you. Do you sell reusable shopping bags? Do you sell reusable shopping bags? These three. These three. I have an appointment with the doctor for tomorrow. I have an appointment with the doctor for tomorrow. Our teacher standing at the front of the class is our new English teacher. Our teacher standing at the front of the class is our new English teacher. Although he was tired, he attended the meeting. Although he was tired, he attended the meeting. I have a cough for 3 weeks. I have a cough for 3 weeks. They did not evaluate. They did not evaluate. Wouldn't he believe it from time to time? Wouldn't he believe it from time to time? The girl in the yellow dress is my cousin. The girl in the yellow dress is my cousin. This may be an error. This may be an error. He has to go to school every day but he is not happy about it. He has to go to school every day but he is not happy about it. Grandson's CO. Grandson's CO. Should I quote from last year? Should I quote from last year? You enter school. You enter school. Is there enough room in the car for everyone? Is there enough room in the car for everyone? Can you deal with it in the afternoon? Can you deal with it in the afternoon? Are we waiting for anyone? Are we waiting for anyone? Is your colleague a pilot? Is your colleague a pilot? She hopes to be accepted into a good university. She hopes to be accepted into a good university. We're going on vacation next week. We're going on vacation next week. We weren't journalists then. We weren't journalists then. He should have paid the bill on time. He should have paid the bill on time. The bus was very clean and well maintained. The bus was very clean and well maintained. Can't it diversify? Can't it diversify? Should they be paramedics every day? Should they be paramedics every day? Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. They like to go jogging in the morning. They like to go jogging in the morning. They should wear safety glasses in the lab. They should wear safety glasses in the lab. Leaves are falling from the trees. Leaves are falling from the trees. If he saves enough money, he will buy a new car. If he saves enough money, he will buy a new car. Won't they be mining after 2 weeks? Won't they be mining after 2 weeks? Can I get a rain check for this discounted item? Can I get a rain check for this discounted item? I look like my grandfather. I look like my grandfather. His half-brother was an actuary. His half-brother was an actuary. Towel, towel. Although I was tired, I stayed up late to finish the book. Although I was tired, I stayed up late to finish the book. They pushed themselves to the limit. They pushed themselves to the limit. These three. Was our friend an actor? Was our friend an actor? That's why we need. What is the Wi-Fi password? What is the Wi-Fi password? This dress is affordable. This dress is affordable. A tree blown by the wind blocked the road. A tree blown by the wind blocked the road. After 2 years I am a night watchman. After 2 years I am a night watchman. Can you speak English? Can you speak English? He doesn't speak Spanish, does he? He doesn't speak Spanish, does he? His half-sisters were caregivers. His half-sisters were caregivers. They rarely retire. They rarely retire. The store opens at 7 a.m. The store opens at 7 a.m. How many cars do you have? How many cars do you have? I'll meet John in front of the library at 3 o'clock. I'll meet John in front of the library at 3 o'clock. Was her aunt a nurse? Was her aunt a nurse? We could not support. We could not support. It's 1:45. It's 1:45. The economic crisis led to high unemployment rates. The economic crisis led to high unemployment rates.